Morena tate. Firstly, I'd like to thank you for attending today. I know that Mike Bush will be known to many of you, so I probably don't need to do an introduction. I will open the press conference and then afterwards we'll be taking any questions. Over the past week, I've been informed of 2 serious allegations involving staff acting inappropriately towards young people in Oranga Tamariki residences. This alleged behaviour is unacceptable, and there is no place for it in our organisations or in our communities. My priority is the safety and well-being of the children involved in these allegations. I have taken immediate action to remove the 2 staff members from our residences. There are 2 investigations that have commenced to determine the exact nature and extent of any offending. Police were brought in immediately and have active investigations which will be ongoing. And in addition, we are conducting our own internal investigations. The allegations involve inappropriate sexual behaviour. I know that there will be rightfully further questions about the specific allegations, but can I please ask that we allow the investigations to take their course? I give my public assurance that the outcomes of these investigations at the appropriate time will be made public. However, I have made the decision that I was not prepared to wait for the outcome of any investigation. While these are currently individual and isolated incidents, 2 for me is too many. I am not prepared to compromise on the welfare of our tamariki. Children in our care must be cared for. Children in our facilities must be safe. It is a non-negotiable that every young person who is taken into Oranga Tamariki care and facilities will be safe at all times. There is no room in this organisation for any young person to be put at risk by the behaviour of staff. Very shortly after this coming to my attention, I made the decision to bring former Police Commissioner Mike Bush into Oranga Tamariki to give me the assurance that I need. As of this Friday, he will take on the leadership of all youth justice and care and protection residences. In addition to the day-to-day leadership, he will lead a rapid review across all our residences, including our Oranga Tamariki community-based homes. In doing this, he will be assisted by Shannon Pakura, the former Chief Social Worker of Oranga Tamariki, and currently a member of the Government Ministerial Advisory Board to the Minister for Children. I have asked for this rapid review to be completed within 2 months, after which I commit to make the findings and any work required to make change public. I do want to acknowledge the majority of our staff who are also mums and dads, aunties and uncles who come to work every day to do their best in making a difference in our young people's lives. That is why it's unacceptable that a few staff think they can act outside the values that Aotearoa demands and deserves. Mike and I will now take questions.
Can I start by asking you about the well-being of those young people involved? How are they doing at the moment?
So with the young people affected, they've all been contacted. So we've worked with all of their whānau. The social workers will continue to work alongside them. But right now what we can say is all of the young people have got all the support they need around them
How
from
can
us.
you be confident that this is an isolated issue?
The two incidents that have been brought to my attention, for me, is enough to bring in such an intervention, so then I can feel assured that this isn't a problem. And that work, as I say previously, I want completed in 2 months.
You're saying
Like
two
who in the
incidents,
same
but
residence?
how many children or young people are affected here?
At this stage, around 5. And for them, what we're doing is the police investigation, alongside Oranga Tamariki, with our child protection protocol, will continue to do those investigations.
How
Is
can
this
you
like
get
the
this?
age brackets of these young people?
Can't give you those details at the moment. It's subject to police investigation.
Was this abuse, and do you have any concerns as a broader paedophile issue here?
As I've mentioned previously, we've got to let the process run its course with the police. I am concerned enough that we've activated the child protection protocol for these two incidences, but the police will run their process and we'll get to the outcome of that.
Are you able to
the
tell us about the time frame? You know, was it over a sustained period? Was it a one-off incident? You know, what can you tell us about how long this happened?
As I said, I can't go into the details because those are actually part of the police investigation.
Are we talking about a single incident?
Are the two staff connected in any way?
They're not connected. They're not connected in any way. To restate, both staff are not in the residences. They are not working with young people.
How did this come to light? Like, how did you...
Yeah, so on that, the concerns about these two individuals were brought up separately. They were raised by staff. So I do want to acknowledge our staff doing the right things by drawing those issues to our attention. That's how it came to light.
You're saying that they're not working in the residences, but there were staff members working in the residences. Is that right?
Yes, they were.
Was it in the youth justice facility, or was it outside?
It was across both our youth justice and care protection residences.
So is it the same facilities or separate?
Separate facilities.
Can you say what part of the country?
To protect the privacy of the young people, I can't identify those facilities.
You said you've spoken with their whānau. I mean, how did you tell them this?
Yeah, so that was work carried out by our social workers, of course, the social workers for the young people who are affected. So they've reached out to the whānau. Understandably, the whānau, as you could expect, were quite upset, as they should be. But what we are doing is putting all the support around the whānau and the tamariki.
Will you be meeting with the whānau yourself as the rangatira or te rā?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm absolutely committed to meeting with the whānau, as I have done in the past on separate occasions.
How much of a breach of trust is this?
Oh, it's an absolute breach of trust. I mean, I am incredibly upset about this happening inside Oranga Tamariki. I'm very upset. It's a breach of trust. It really damages the awesome mahi that many of our kaimahi do every day. They are absolutely let down by the actions of two individuals.
I know you can't go into specific timeframes, but can you give us a sort of a sense of how long ago these incidents happened? Was it within the last year? Are they historical?
It is within the last year, but we are working out the details and the facts, which will actually be part of the police investigation
So do
as
you
well.
think this is an underlying that there are more incidences to come to light?
That is why I have Mike Bush reporting directly to me. The care and protection residences and the YJ residences will be under his operational leadership to give me the independent assurance that our young people, our staff, are safe, but also our communities are safe.
Let's go back to an earlier question then, because I asked you whether, you know, how you can have assurances that this was an isolated incident, but you can't really have that at the moment, can you?
Right now, the two events that have been brought to my attention are not connected. They are isolated, but at the end of the rapid review that Mr. Bush will do, will understand what we have.
Is there a
Can you say
culture
right
issue?
now, with these two staff members removed, are your residences safe for young people?
What I can say is we have removed those two people who have alleged to have committed these offences from those residences.
And now are the young people in there safe?
What I can say is we have done a lot of work since finding out these allegations, understanding what problems we may well have, and we need to do the work to get the assurance that all of our young people across our residences. So that is why we have Mike Bush coming in.
Just following up on that though, so are you confident that young people are safe?
I'm confident that those allegations against the two people that are no longer the residences, we have removed that risk.
Are you
Are any
confident there
questions for
isn't a
Mr.
culture
Bush,
issue?
please?
Are you confident there isn't a culture issue in the residence?
I am confident that we are doing our very best every day. But Mr. Bush is here to give us that assurance about across our residences.
How are you going to give that assurance?
So the first part of this will be to do a very in-depth and independent review right across the residence to understand if there are any further issues, any underlying issues, and that will inform our approach. So the team will be independent, very skilled, have worked in this area before, and it's important that we understand if there are any other issues, because our priority on behalf of the Chief Executive is to ensure that all of the tamariki, all the young people that are in the residence, kaimahi, all of the staff are safe, and that the community are also safe.
There have been a number of issues raised separate to this about the youth justice facilities in particular, and the staff turnover, particularly after the introduction of the 17 and 18-year-olds to those facilities. Will you look at whether those facilities are fit for purpose?
We have to ensure that they are, so absolutely that will be a focus to ensure that they are not just safe but fit for purpose,
How long
yes.
will your process be?
So the first part of the review is a 2-month review by the independent team that will work to me, but they are not employees of Oranga Tamariki, to ensure that independence. At the end of that, they will report to myself and Chappie, and from there we will develop an implementation plan which we will implement with pace.
So for the next 2 months, Chappie, you can't actually tell the community that young people in your facilities are safe.
What I can tell the community and the public right now is the issue that have been brought to my attention, I've acted decisively. I've removed those staff members, and what I've decided to do to show accountability for these issues is to bring Mr. Bush in as a direct report to me, take out those residences, have them directly report to him to do the work I know he needs to do to give us the assurance.
Mr. Bush, how will you be reaching out to the whānau? Surely they must be part of your process, are they? Because they would expect you to be.
They will be, they have
Yep.
been in the past, and that's a very important aspect, so thank you for raising it.
Can you
But
just
yes,
expand on who you would like to speak with as part of the investigation?
we will speak with all of the stakeholders. So what we've done in the past is we talk to the rangatahi themselves on a real trust basis. So we're experienced in that. We will talk to all of the staff, all of the stakeholders, partners, iwi, everyone, and all of the oversight groups that are involved. So it's a very comprehensive review.
Do you expect it could reveal more incidences?
These incidents that we've spoken of today are what we know about. We'll obviously be very open and encourage any other reporting, but these are the only incidents that we're aware of at this point.
Mr.
Mr. Kani, it's a very big call to bring in Mr. Bush to run the operations. Do you have confidence in your senior leadership team?
Yes, I do.
Why does this deem necessary?
Yes, I do. I have absolute confidence in my senior leadership team, and what this is about is giving a clear focus and priority to this presenting problem around our residences. So we've taken out the residences, we'll put them under Mr. Bush. It gives it their clear leadership, clear focus. It's got no question about the ability of the leadership team. I've got every confidence in the leadership team. But having Mr. Bush here, with his experience and independent view coming into Oranga Tamariki at this point in time is really important for me.
How concerned are you that these two incidents were raised in just 1 week?
Of course I'm concerned, which is why I've acted incredibly decisively. As I said first, these are 2 incidences too many for me, which is why I made the interventions that I have done. So it is concerning to me. I do want to reiterate that this is what we know, and this is how we've acted, and the work that Mr. Bush will do may turn up others.
Alrighty, were the
Thank you very much. Do you have
two people
confidence in your
vetted by
reporting
police?
processes?
Were the two people that have been stood down vetted by police?
I can't answer that question. That's part of the police investigation.
Do you have confidence in Oranga Tamariki's reporting processes where people feel they have concerns about staff behaviour? Are your reporting processes robust enough?
Given the fact that staff have raised these matters and we're acting on them, it's important for me to acknowledge that. But of course, this will also be part of Mr. Bush's
So
work.
you're confident they were raised, as quickly as they could have been, that they weren't sort of left for 6 months, for longer?
And that's also part of the investigation.
So
But
should
there was
all
a
of your
situation
staff
where
be
young people
vetted by
didn't know
police?
that they were being treated appropriately, from what you've said?
Can't answer that question. That's part of the police investigation.
Shouldn't all of your staff be vetted by police?
As I say, that's part of the police investigation. The vetting process does happen, but that's also part of the police
Have you already
investigation.
started your investigations, Mr. Bush?
The work starts on Friday.
When you say the concerns were raised by staff, was it staff within the residences themselves, or was it the reporting?
What I can say is it was raised by staff in the appropriate way, because that's also part of the investigation.
A lot of tamariki and their family have paid the price at the hands of Oranga Tamariki. Is there a cultural issue within Oranga Tamariki?
What I can say is Oranga Tamariki is absolutely committed to whānau, which is why I'm doing what we are doing now. The actions of these two members, who are no longer part of the organisation, has really impacted on the mahi that we do. Thank you.